Hey guys, Silverlord here, back again with another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Dynamite Comics Purgatori, brought to us by the fine folks over at Executive Replicas, as well as Mr. Loose Collector, because nothing is a more suitable follow-up to the Disney Ultimates than a half-naked demon bitch. It is Monday the 13th, after all, January 13th, as of the time this video is going live on air. So I figured, what better way to remind you guys that it's not all cutesy shit here at Overlord Productions than, again, a half-naked demon bitch. Technically, a half-naked vampire bitch, because Purgatori is, in fact, an Egyptian vampiress that just so happens to look like a winged demonic spawn of Satan. So, with that being said, before we get too far ahead of ourselves with good yucks and good times, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look, see at all Purgatori has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with a pair of grip hands with the appropriate hinges for holding weapons. Thank you. So that is awesome. I dig that. Very much so. She also has a pair of fists, so she can punch you right in the schnozberry. You try to grab her boob. She also has a pair of open hands. These are kind of like relaxed hands, almost look like spellcasty hands. I will say, I didn't have trouble swapping these. Knock on wood, it stays that way, but I did heat up the arms before I popped the hands out. So after doing that one time, mind you, not twice, 3, or even 46 times, I was able to get them out. It wasn't very difficult, and the other hands swap in and out just fine. So, you know, I hear a lot of people talking the shit about Loose Collector and Executive Rep, saying their figures are crap. Well, I bet half you continental ninny muggins never use a hairdryer before you go cranking on shit. So, you know, last I checked, it's not your dick. You need to handle it with care. That said, she also comes with a relaxed head with some windswept hair, but here's the kicker. You can pop that right out and swap the hair pieces. The horns are sculpted. I think they're separate glued in pieces, in fact, because they feel a little stiffer than the hair, but not too stiff to where it feels like they're going to break if I do this. But yeah, there you go. Some windswept hair. I'll show you how to swap that on in just a sec, but if you really want to know, there's just a little port there, and it just pops right on. And last but not least, she comes with a thword. Because, of course, no demonic vampiress of evil is complete without her sword. So, there you go. That said, since she is owned by Dynamite Comics now, or Dynamite, if you guys remember that old movie, is it Desborough, the little mouse with a sword? I don't remember. But I wonder if she fights Vampirella, because they're both owned by the same company now. Same with Red Sonja. She's actually owned by Dynamite Comics too. That said, since this is a Loose Collector and or Executive Replicas figure here, I'm going to move her to the side a little bit so we can compare her to the previous Loose Collector Executive Rep figure I reviewed, the Hell Witch from Coffin Comics. If I can get her to stand with her magnetic tits coming off. Alright, we're off to a great start. There we go. That's as good as it's going to get, folks. I'm keeping the wings on just because, well, convenience. As you can see, they are about the same heights. They both have heels. They're both a pain in the ass to stand. They got horns. They're half naked. One is red, one is white. And I think the wings are even different. I think Hell Witch's wings are a little bit more unique. I have Hell Witch with her kind of open hands. She does have grip hands with the appropriate hinge for holding weapons, if my memory is correct, as well as a thwart of her own. I think it's like translucent green. And of course, she comes with the best accessory ever, because as you probably saw as I was trying to get her to stand up, she does have a magnetic rack that you can pop on and off. It stays on there pretty good, but she does have naked tits you can swap on there. So if you are a serious perv to the max, you can display her like that. But since I have a little bit more class than that, I display her with her top on. And there you go. So, getting her big old magnetic badonkers out of the way. Let me just double check this wing sculpt. Are they the same? Maybe? Maybe they're the same? They could be the same. Could be the same. If they're the same, it's a little tricky to notice all the way, but I want to say they're different. If they are, please correct me in the comments, but I think they're different. I think Purgatori's wings are a little better as far as stability goes. They're a little tighter in her back, but yes, I think they are different. I think the little talons on the top there, I think Hell Witches are different. Hell Witches are different. They are not the same. So, there you go. But here is Purgatori up close. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I had this figure a few months ago, she would have made my top 13 figures of 2023. Because I think she came out in 23. You know, a lot of people were ranting and raving about Red Sonja at the end of 23. So I want to say she came out with them. So, you know, it is what it is. She does not have a magnetic chest, so you can't give her naked titties, but you can swap the hair. I will do that because it'll allow better articulation in the head. So all you do is you take that off, take this, and you push it down. Go push it. Which can be easier said than done sometimes. Gee whiz. There. You just really gotta push it in there. Push it real good. But there you go. There is Purgatori with her windswept hair. She looks freaking badass. I love this figure. I am a huge Iced Earth fan. Just to bring up an obscure 90s metal band. And they used this chick on one of their album covers. It was Days of Purgatory. Shocker. It also had this chick called Jade on there. She's like a green Chinese vampire chick with like long claws and just as big of tits with like this string shit going across her chest. I don't know. She wears like a green dress, but she's got the really thin like string going across, like laces or whatever. And I'm wondering who owns the rights to that character now, because I'd like to see an update of her to go with Purgatori here. But yeah, I freaking love this thing. This thing is sick. I remember getting the Claiborne Moore figure of this character when I was in high school. I loved that figure back then. And then in college, I got the Diamond Select Art Asylum Dark Alliance one, and I liked that one even more. I do still have that one out on display. The Claiborne Moore one I do not, but I still have it. It's just a storage. But yeah, Purgatori is one of my favorite like 90s femme fatales. You know, she's right up there with Lady Death and Angela from Spawn, for me at least. And yeah, this is a really, really badass figure. I love the way this thing came out. So as far as her articulation goes, her head will rotate. It's got a bit of, can look up and down pretty well too. Tilt side to side. Her shoulders will go up. Yay far. Pretty darn far, all things considered. Go down, rotate, forward and back. She does have a bicep swivel, which is my only real gripe with this figure. Yeah, it's at like the most round part of the bicep. It's not like oval shaped, it's very circular. But I would have preferred if she had the hinge swivel elbows like Hell Witch. I think she probably came out before Hell Witch. That's why she doesn't have those. She does have a single jointed elbow though. It gets you about 90. She does have swivel hinge wrists. Those work fine. I like these claws. She didn't come packaged with these, but I swapped them on anyways because they're freaking awesome. She does have a diaphragm joint. That's a little loose. I wish that was a little tighter. I did have to heat up the back to put the wings in, so maybe that's got something to do with it, but she can bend forward. Wow. Hold the phone. She can bend forward pretty darn far. I'm going to leave that alone. There's a joke that can be made there. And she can bend back pretty far as well. But again, it is not the tightest thing. I could probably heat this up, pop it apart, and maybe do some heating and cooling and possibly just add a little bit of adhesive to tighten that up a bit. But I'm not going to bother. It's fine. It's not super floppy. It's just got a little weeble wobble to it. And right now it's fine. It's not doing any of that. Her hips will kick up 90 degrees. Just about. It will kick out to the side. Not a perfect split, but pretty close. Now I will tell you, this thigh was stuck on mine. This thigh swivel, she's got it right here. And I actually got to bend the top knee joint to get that to frickin' move at all. But she does have a thigh swivel right there. But I did have to heat that up, and I did have to pull it out slightly, that's what she said, to get it cracked loose. Thought I was going to tear it maybe, but I know that the plastic on these is questionable to some people, but I straight up yanked Hell Witch's leg off at this joint. Granted, it's a little looser, but I was able to pop it off without breaking it. I don't think there's even a stress line on this. I think I'm just tripping. And no, I am not taking this thing apart. Hell to the no. I love her as one piece. She is staying one piece. I got the freaking thing to move. It doesn't feel gummy or anything. It just feels like, I don't know, maybe it's because I heated it. That's why it's not giving me problems now. But it felt, it was stuck, basically, when I got it. But it works fine now. It works just as good as the other side, which is just as freaking tight. I'll give you a demonstration there. Still just as tight, so very solid joints compared to Tarna anyways. She does have double knee, and that I think was the only joint I had to heat up other than heating up the head, the stoic head there, the relaxed face. I'm gonna leave her with this open mouth screaming head. That's just what you do. And to heat up the stoic head to get it on her for a picture. If you saw my Instagram a while ago, you might know what that is. But other than that, heating up the arms, this was the only stuck joint I had. So, you know, not too bad. Ankles could be a little tighter, I'm not going to lie. But they do hinge back and forth. And then she does have a ankle twist there. So, very solid. I think she does have peg holes. Wish they gave her a stand. But I do think she stands a little better than Hell Witch did. I say that knowing she's probably going to plant right as I get her to stand. Her one hip's a little loose. A little. Not like floppy, gonna mess with it loose, but loose enough. There you go. She stands. I mean, I don't know what more you want. Her wing wasn't even. Maybe that's why. And they were also facing backwards a little bit. But her wings are on ball joints. They're tight enough, I think. They're not floppy or droopy or anything like that. It's just, you got to be mindful of them when you're posing her because you don't want her to fall on her butt. Which, by the way, she has a mad badonkadonk. Holy shit. That puts all the McFarlane mother truckers to shame, if you ask me. So, now that I'm done perving out over a 6-inch action figure, I'm going to set her back here. Let's actually pose her wings up a little tiny bit. Just a little bit. God, I can't believe they make action figures look like this in this day and age. I thought this would I thought for sure that this stuff would not get, like, approved, but I guess since it's not in flipping family-friendly Target, it's home to, like, X amount of crack whores, they're able to get away with it, and I'm all here for it. I love me some 90s femme fatale characters, and Purgatori here is no exception to that rule. Here we go. I think that's about as even as I'm gonna get her. About as even as I'm gonna get her. But yeah, I love this figure. Definitely top, probably 10. Let's not kid ourselves. I don't know if she'd crack top 5, but top 10 for sure from 2023. I just wish I had her sooner. That said, let me compare her to our two regulars, the Mythic Legions by the Mandibolith. Right here. The wing's gonna get in the way, unfortunately. We're just gonna have to let that go. There she is with him, as well as the infamous Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone. But hey, Purgatori is a card-carrying member of the individuals, we'll say in this case, since she is a lady. Wouldn't be Men in Red and Black Club, but just the Red and Black Club in general. So there you go, folks. That is Purgatori in a nutshell. Adjust this wing, get him like further back. I guess not. I guess Brother Mandibolith is just too thick. So with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and if you haven't been paying attention throughout the majority of this review, first of all, rude. Second, obviously, good old Purgatori here is a freaking fantastic figure. At least, if you ask me, because not only is she one of my favorite figures from Executive Replicas and or Loose Collector, granted, I only have a few, but that Tarna was an absolute fest. That aside, she is also one of my top 13 figures of 2023, despite the fact I did that video way back in October of last year, 2024. So, you know, just because I don't have it in time to make the top 13 video doesn't mean it's not going to sneak in there at some point. That, my friends, is called backtracking. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.